Can we please all stand for the opening karakia? Tua I runga, tua I raro, ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao, I te kōrero, I te wānanga, pūā takataka, pūā whiowhio, ko te marama ahunuku, ko te marama ahurangi, ko takoto mai ki te hau o tū. Tū wini, tū wana, tū whakapotaina ki te whai ao, ki te ao marama, tihei, mauri ora. Please be seated.
Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the 2021 Wellington College Sports Prize Giving. In an ideal world, the Black and Gold Awards will be presented at a standalone evening function, but for obvious reasons, we cannot do that. All those present have represented Dub C in the Black and Gold this year, and we are delighted that we can at least get together to celebrate all that is good about Wellington College sport. Recognising this, we are required to present the awards in a different way. There will be no shaking of hands, and each medal, badge or cup will be placed on the table, and you'll be required to pick it up without personal contact. We will be presenting some sports trophies that we have not had the opportunity to present this year, and then move on to Honours and Blues, and finally finish with the Black and Gold Awards for Sportsman of the Year. Before we do, I would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Fountain, to say a few words.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ka nui te mihi kia koe Ben. What an unusual situation we find ourselves in. Can I start by thanking all the people that have pulled this event together? You know, the tech people, the sports and arts community who have pulled this event together. It's not the Black and Golds, but it's going to be an event with some gravitas and allow us to celebrate our amazing sporting achievement of this year. Can you join me in thanking all the people who have helped us put this event together for this morning? In 2018, Sport NZ brought out an American academic, someone who'd come from an amazing background in coaching. He'd coached elite American sports for a very long time. And they brought him out to do some work on a project called Coaching for Character. And they brought him to meet me, and we met in the office, which is now Mr. Ashby's office, which was the temporary principal's office while this building was being built. And we had a long-ranging discussion about the role of sport in developing character and values. And he said something that I've never forgotten since. He said, you know, Gregor, we talk a lot about how sport builds character. We talk a lot about how sport builds values. And he said, I don't think that's true. He said, I think actually what happens is that sport reveals values. It reveals the character. You know, it's really easy to keep a values-based position when you're not emotionally connected to something. It's really easy I find it really easy to be a really great dad when I'm not wound up. But when you're wound up, and sport winds us up often for very good reasons, sometimes we can lose the sense of, you know, that values-based approach. But one of the things that I've enjoyed so much about being at Wellington College in the last 4 years is the ability to watch you play sport and perform. You've made me immensely proud, and you've made me immensely that have sometimes come and watch you play sport as well. Thank you for being awesome role models. You know, in cricket, being the runners-up in New Zealand in the Gillette Cup at this time last year was a fantastic achievement. We are completely the dominant team in Wellington, and having both the first and second 11 playing in that Premier Division shows the absolute strength. Over the last 3 years, Wellington College has been placed first, third and second in New Zealand and have continued to dominate. Similarly in athletics, we've had individual athletes perform outstandingly at regionals and in national track and field championships. It was a tragedy that we were not able to have the McKevity Shield this year, But the planning for next year's one is underway, and we're determined that, at least for athletes, there's going to be that event is going to happen. The tennis team, won the local team premiership, the Oni Parent Trophy, and then represented us at the Nationals. Futsal got in their full national season and summer tournament week. A remarkable set of matches, and I think very few of us will ever forget that final and the despair of the last minute come from behind victory by Tauranga Boys College, an extraordinary event to be part of in an amazing atmosphere. Our rowers ended up having one very major regatta as a result of COVID, in which both Māori Cup and Nationals and North Island Secondary School medals were handed out, and we had an extraordinarily successful regatta with many rowers coming back with North Island and in some cases national medals. What an amazing performance for that club and for the crews that have so much that they have to persevere with in order to be able to train and represent us at that high level. Cross country continues to be one of our absolute major codes. They did get to go to the Nationals this year, although in terrible conditions from memory. But again, they came home with many medals. First 15 had their best season in several years. The victories in the local traditional games, particularly the victories over St. Pat's Town and St. Pat's Silverstream, were extraordinary, memorable, and were performances that really put Wellington College rugby back on the map. The despair of the semi-final loss to Silverstream at Hataitai Park will be something that remains with us for a very long time. I think that was the longest 35 minutes ever in New Zealand history or in world history. I think it went to about 48 from my memory, and it was, certainly a point of a despair. But didn't the first 15 this year put pride back in the jersey and make us all proud with their extraordinary performances? Football and hockey won their premier competitions. Football, hockey, and underwater hockey all won their premier competitions and had nationals taken away from them. Our underwater hockey continues to go from strength to strength. It's a sport that we're consistently strong at. Individuals, many individuals are gaining local and national representation. And hockey have continued their dominant form, and they had the joy this year of saving their best performance for the final, where they absolutely dominated the second best team in Wellington, Onslow College, with a 5-0 victory on a Friday night that I watched live on YouTube. And who will ever forget the season of the First 11 football? What a remarkable group of players who will be regarded in history as one of the greatest First 11s of all time. In this 75th year of Wellington College, which is an amazing fact that football's only been around at Wellington College for 75 years, because what that means is for the first half of the school's history, you weren't allowed to play football, and now it's our biggest code by far. But who will forget the performance of our First 11 football, who showed tenacity, amazing goal-scoring ability, skill, and had a remarkable year, winning almost all of their games in the round robin. And then in one of the greatest bits of sporting theatre I've ever witnessed, again, watching on the live stream on YouTube, on the TV at home in my case, although I noticed quite a few of you were here. What an event to go from 1-0 down to 1-1 to 2-1 up down to 2-2 to 3-2 down to 3-3, and then to score the winner in the final moments of that game is something that I think I will never forget. What an example of tenacity, of people playing for each other, and a united group of people. So, while we mostly recognise the elite players here today, we must remember that without all the other teams playing, there'd be no competition for the top teams to shine. And as well as being proud of our elite sport at Wellington College, we're deeply proud that this is a school that people play sport. That some people play sport with their friends and pick their own teams. That some people just like kicking around a ball or doing something and not training, and that's fine. And that others like our social basketball league, just want to enjoy their times together. So as we acknowledge these elite athletes and teams today, let's acknowledge all the effort that goes into them. The parents, the teachers, the coaches, the volunteers, the officials, the referees, all the people that pushed us hard to get into these top teams, all the people that have committed themselves to being part of Team Dub C under, in the end, Mr. Keats' leadership. Let's congratulate all the winners, all the people involved in Dub C sport, and thank you for making me immensely proud of being principal of this school. Nō reira, tēnā koutou katoa.
We'd like to begin with the junior social basketball. I would like to call up the Stags to receive their medals. Ollie Church, Taina Hingston Mill, Wentz Pineda, Quinton Johnson Bell, Ollie Hayes, Julian Menz, Jackson Cummings, Jordan Leaf, Eddie Ban, and Joshua Powell.
It is now time to present the Wellington College Swimming Cups for 2021. Some of these trophies go back 50 years or more. In the under-14s, the certificate for runner-up in the under-14 championship, Caleb Tan. The Fitzgerald Cup for winning the under-14 championship, Sunny Zheng. Under-15s, the certificate for runner-up in the under-15 championship, David Zhu. The Hallaby Cup for winning the under-15 championship, Oliver Rumney. Under-16s, the Bramwell Cup for runner-up in the under-16 championship, James O'Brien. The Newman Cup for winning the under-16 championship, Finn Harland. And finally, seniors, the Fitzgerald Cup for runner-up, Dylan Raimona Pahetongia. The Miles Cup as the Wellington College swimming champion for 2021, Eli Ashby. And finally, the Martin Vaughan Trophy for contribution to swimming goes to Henry Guy. Well done, boys.
Now moving on to badminton. I would like to invite the team on stage to receive the Dean Galt Cup and the congratulations of the school. Alex Galt, Kevin Kumara Sundaram, Rex Wong, and Captain Stephen Pang. Well done, lads.
On to underwater hockey. We would like to present their trophy and medals for winning the local competition, so please come up on stage as I read your name. Tom Adams, Max Coram, Christian Cox, Louis Harland, Nick Jones, Luke Kugellein, Jed McLaughlin, Luke Rhodes, Archie Riley, and Captain Caleb DeVos. Now we move on to our individual award won by one of our students. So, in his first year for the first 11 since moving from the Phoenix Academy, Xander Edwards took the College Sport Wellington top grade by storm, scoring a staggering 14 goals in 11 league games. This included a match-winning hat-trick in the grand final against Scots, leading his side to a 4-3 come-from-behind victory. With this, Xander took out the golden boot for the most goals in the grade, an amazing achievement for an incredible talent, especially given he is only year 12. Please come up on stage to receive your award. Congratulations to Xander Edwards.
We would like to now recognise all the people who represented Dub C at a premier level in 2 or more sports. Nick Allen, football and futsal. Ethan Awalua, volleyball and touch. Lachlan Awalua, rugby and volleyball. Henry Bellavo, athletics and cross country. Bram Clarkson, hockey and floorball. Tom Clarkson, hockey and floorball. Daniel Costa, water polo and swimming. Tim Crawford, hockey and floorball. Oscar Crow, football, athletics and cross country. Cooper Duggan, football and futsal. Tom England, football and futsal. Max Falconer, football and futsal. Daniel Fuller, football and futsal. Henry Guy, water polo and swimming. Jack Julian, football, athletics and cross country. Max Duran, football and cricket. Luke Kugelijn, underwater hockey, swimming, athletics and cross country. Bailey Lawrence and Tupai, rugby, waka ama and touch. Shiloh Liko, rugby and volleyball. Johnny Maiava, rugby and volleyball. Benson Morley Hall, hockey and floorball. James O'Brien, hockey, water polo and swimming. Isaiah Opai, rugby and touch. Tofoka Paongo, rugby and volleyball. Aidan Rodriguez, football and futsal. Tovanga Siolo, rugby and volleyball. Stanley Solomon, rugby, athletics and touch. Devon Sopwanga, rugby and touch. Spencer Cameron, football and futsal. Caleb Stanley, rugby and athletics. Ethan Stowers, rugby, basketball and volleyball. Ashton Teal, rugby and volleyball. Matthias Toimata, volleyball and touch. Alapoto Tuitama Tiatia, rugby and touch. Aryan Valab, hockey and floorball. Jeremy Wallace, athletics and cross country. And Joshua Williams, rugby and touch.
Moving on to honours badges. For hockey, Tim Crawford, Judd Adamson, Jack Garr and Olaf Baker. And for table tennis, Thomas Christie. For rugby, Will Anderson, Michael Jacobs, Jacob Waikari Jones, Isaiah Opai, Dylan Hoare, Tofuka Paonga and Jake Ross. For football, Aidan Rodriguez, Cooper Duggan, Levi Appleton, Oscar Crow, Sam Williams, Milo McBride, Jack Julian, Ashton Hodson, Daniel Fuller, Spencer Cameron. For cross country, Henry Bellavow and Jack Julian. For underwater hockey, Tom Adams, Caleb DeVos, Louis Harland, Archie Riley, and Max Coram. For badminton, Stephen Pang and Alex Galt. For basketball, Inacio Hill, Harry Zangaropoulos, and Herschel Potiki Moses. For swimming, Eli Ashby, Jonas Lilly, Luke Spears, Dylan Marimona Pautongia, Henry Guy, Shane Maskell, Finn Harland, and David Zhu. We now move on to Blues Pockets. The first goes to Eli Ashby for swimming. Captain of the Dub Sea swim team, Eli has not only been successful in the pool, but has taken this to a higher level in open water swimming. Here he has won the New Zealand Secondary Schools Wellington Champs, leading Team Dub Sea to victory in the teams event. He went on to win the New Zealand Secondary Schools 1 kilometre championships and was third in the 3.5k race in Taupo. Eli Ashby. The next is Tim Crawford for hockey. Captain of the Dub Sea First 11, which won the Wellington Secondary Schools title, Tim reached the milestone of 100 matches for the team this season. He is also captain of the Wellington Under-18 team, which finished 5th at Nationals. A member of the XL Under-18 squad for Wellington Hockey, he was selected for the New Zealand Under-18 team, which, although unable to play external fixtures, came together to play games in the South Island. Tim Crawford. Isaiah Opai for touch. Captain and also coach of the Dub Sea senior team, Isaiah is also a Wellington Under-18 representative. He has been selected for the New Zealand Under-18 team, which again, COVID willing, will be playing fixtures in the upcoming summer. Isaiah Opai. Max Faulkner for football. A senior member of the Dub C First 11 who won the CSW Premiership, Max has been selected for the New Zealand Secondary Schools team, which is scheduled to play matches in the new year. He's also captain of the Dub C futsal team that did so well. Max Faulkner. And finally, Zeno Varajas Poole for tennis. Zeno is captain of the Dub C tennis team, having played in the seniors for the last 3 years. The team has won the Oni Perun Regional Tennis Trophy for the past 3 years as well. He has represented Wellington and Tennis Central in age group and senior fixtures. He was winner of the New Zealand Under-16 doubles in December 2020 and also finished in the top 6 at singles. He was selected to represent New Zealand at the B2 ITF Junior Championships, again COVID affected. Zeno Varajas Poole. And now for a break in the proceedings, we'll be entertained by one of our rock bands. These guys are called Lenore. They're playing a piece by Elliott Smith called Gumboots and Rugby Shorts. This has been entered in the Lion Foundation songwriting competition and will be released as part of a compilation album. This is Lenore, and we'll just take a wee while to get set up. Thank you.
Somewhere down a rough old country track, down where the fields are filled with lambs. They say there is a monster, don't think that you'll ever catch her. She lives at the bottom of the sea. They drink gin and raspberry, part of an sentient machine. They say there is a monster, don't think that you'll ever catch her. She lives at the bottom of the sea. Gumboots and rugby shorts don't keep them very warm, but they don't care that it's always cold. Gumboots and rugby shorts don't keep them very warm, but they don't care that it's always cold. They live by the lighthouse on the coast. The whole place is filled with garden gnomes. They're torn out by the weather, but they will never surrender. They live in the only place they know. Gumboots and rugby shorts don't keep them very warm, and I don't care that it's always cold. Gumboots and rugby shorts don't keep them very warm, but I don't care that it's always cold. People of the land, they came out of a sardine can, pulled up in their big boats. They kicked out the host, they won't be caught with blood in their hands.
We will now finish with the Black and Gold Awards. The Black and Gold Awards recognise the Junior Sportsman, Senior Sportsman and Team of the Year. So starting with the juniors, the nominees are Heath Abbott, Athletics, Joel Baller Hood, Fencing, Ben Brunner, Cross Country and Athletics, Matt Crawford, Hockey, Arthur Egerton, Futsal and Football, Maxime Eriksson, Rowing, Luca Everett, Cross Country and Athletics, Jamie Frew, Golf, Alex Galt, Badminton, Finn Harland, Swimming, Seb Hopkins, Wrestling, Cale Kincaid, Basketball and Volleyball, Jack Riley, Rowing and Rugby, Murphy Rogers, Basketball, Arjan Valab, Hockey, and David Zhu. And on to the finalists, Joel Baller Hood, Fencing. Joel represented Wellington College at the Regional and National Secondary Schools Championships. He is the Central Secondary School Individual Champion for 2021 and won the New Zealand National Under-15 Men's EPI title earlier in the year. Luca Everett, Cross Country and Athletics. Luca finished first in the Under-16 grade at the College Sport Wellington Regional Cross Country Champs and first at the Under-16 North Island Championships. For athletics, he is meant to be racing in the Australian Track and Field Championships for the Under-16 1500 metres and 800 metres. Luca is currently the fastest seed in both distances. Finn Harland, Swimming. Dub C Year 11 swimming champion Finn currently holds the Wellington 15 years 50 metre and 100 metre records for the backstroke, which were previously held by old boy Gareth Keane. He won gold at the New Zealand Short Course Champs earlier in the year before it was cancelled due to COVID lockdown. He has dominated nationally in the 15 years backstroke, winning gold in the 50 metres and 100 metres, whilst earning a bronze in the 200 metre. He also claimed gold in the 200 metre freestyle. Finn went on to be selected for the New Zealand national age group team, which was obviously unable to compete. Jamie Frew, Golf. Captain and number one player at Dub C, Jamie Frew has had a stellar year playing predominantly in the under-19 competitions. He won the College Sport Wellington Junior Stroke Play at the end of last year and was second in the under-19 championships. A member of the Wellington under-19, he has been undefeated at the time of writing. He was a semi-finalist in the Wellington under-19 Match Play Champs and represents the Masterton Golf Club in the Premier Men's Interclub competition. He was also the winner of the Riversdale Open. And the winner is Finn Harland, Swimming.
And finally, onto the Senior Sportsman of the Year, boys. I'll run through the nominations for you. So, Eli Ashby, Swimming. Henry Beliveau, Cross Country and Athletics. Tomas Christie, Table Tennis. Tim Crawford, Hockey. Oscar Crow, Football, Athletics, Cross Country. Caleb DeVos, Underwater Hockey. Iseldo Tiarina, Athletics. Cooper Duggan, Futsal and Football. Max Falconer, Football and Futsal. Corin Hanning, Athletics. Oscar Jackson, Cricket. Jamie Kearns, Athletics. Hugo Lethbridge, Rowing. Alex Martin, Athletics and Cross Country. Isaiah Orpai, Touch and Rugby. Will Palmer, Rowing. Aidan Rodriguez, Football and Futsal. Stanley Solomon, Rugby, Athletics, Flag. Zeno Verahouse Poole, Tennis. Jacob Waikeri Jones, Rugby. Now we move on to the finalists for Senior Sportsman of the Year. First up, we have Max Falconer for Football and Futsal. As seen earlier, Max has won a blue for football this year. A senior member of the Wellington College First 11 who won the CSW Premiership, Max has been selected for the New Zealand secondary schools team, which is scheduled to play matches in the new year. He is also captain of the Dub C football's futsal team, who finished second in the local championships and second at nationals. Max Falconer. Corin Hanning, athletics. Last year's Junior Sportsman of the Year, Corin is the 2021 Dub C Senior Shot and Discus Champion. He won the North Island Secondary School's 2021 Para Discus and Shot, with the shot being a New Zealand under-17 record. In the NZSS Champs last December, he won 6 medals, setting 2 national records and 4 secondary schools records in the process. Corin Hanning. Oscar Jackson, cricket. A member of the First 11 and current leading run scorer in Prem 1 with 422 runs at an average of 70.33. At the Gillette Cup at the end of 2020, he was the third highest scorer, a mere 2 runs behind the top scorer. He is a Wellington under-17 and under-19 rep, where in both sides he has contributed highly to the batting scores. He has been involved in the New Zealand under-19 training camp over winter, which bodes well for national selection later in the season. Oscar Jackson. Jamie Kearns, athletics. It is fair to say as an athlete that 2021 has been a year of disappointment, with not only the cancellation of McKivity, but the New Zealand secondary school champs later in the year. In spite of this, captain of Dub C Athletics Jamie has had a great year. He won the long jump and triple jump, was second in the 100 metre and third in the high jump at Dub C Champs. At the CSW Regional Championships, he won the triple jump and was second at long jump. The highlight of the season, however, was winning the under-20 triple jump at the New Zealand Track and Field Championships and cementing his place in any age group team due to be selected. He also holds a profile on the WITF rankings. Jamie Kearns. Isaiah Opai, touch, rugby, athletics. The consummate all-rounder, Isaiah is a member of the First 15 and the Wellington Māori under-18s team, along with trialling for Hurricanes and New Zealand under-18 Māori teams. He was an integral member of the McKevity athletics team, competing every year since year 9. He is captain and coach of the Dub C touch team and a Wellington under-18 representative. His selections for the New Zealand under-18 touch team is reflective of his considerable hard work he puts in, and we have seen, resulting in a Dub C blue. Isaiah Opai. Zeno Vryhaus-Poole, tennis. Dub C tennis captain, Zeno, as we have already heard, has won a blue this year for his selection to the New Zealand team to compete at the B2 ITF Championships in Australia. He led the tennis team to victory in the CSW Champs, represented Wellington in Tennis Central at the under-17 and senior level, and was nominated for Tennis Central Junior Player of the Year. At the end of 2020, he won the New Zealand under-16s double champs as well. Zeno Vryhaus-Poole. And the winner of the 2021 Senior Sportsman of the Year is Jamie Kearns.
The nominees are the cross-country team. They dominated locally, particularly in Year 9. Going on to nationals, they had the best result in winning 3 and 6 to count in the Year 9s, gold and silver in the under-16, and bronze in the Senior 6. Captain Henry Bellavow placed 3rd overall. The cross-country team. First 11 cricket. They are currently leading the Premier Grade and topping the competition at the end of Term 1 to qualify for Gillette. They finished 2nd in Gillette last year. Unfortunately, it's cancelled this year. The cricket team. First 11 football. An excellent local season, not only finishing top in the grading round, they qualified in first place for nationals from Wellington. They were undefeated in all traditionals and took out the CSW Premiership for the first time in 7 years, beating Scots 4-3 in the final. Again, no nationals, unfortunately. Senior A futsal, an excellent season for a very competitive team. They were the perennial runners-up, unfortunately, finishing second in the CSW Premiership, second in the regionals, and second at nationals, but a great result all round. First 11 hockey. As per usual, Dub C hockey seemed to be able to produce very competitive teams at the top level, both firsts and seconds winning P1 and P2 respectively. A dominant performance in the final over Parapara Umu was a fitting end of season for the firsts, with Rankin cancelled. The rowing squad, a great year for the rowers, with the best NISS champs for many years with 3 medals and numerous boats making A finals. Again, unfortunately, Māori too fell victim to COVID. First 15 rugby. Under coaches Mr. Taruki Chambers and Mr. Coles, the team performed extremely well, winning traditionals against Rongotai, St. Pat's and also Silverstream. They made top 4 locally and were very close to making the final. The Senior A tennis, a dominant season locally saw them win the CSW regional competition, plus the On-Empower Cup, which doubled as nationals qualifying. They were ranked 3rd for nationals, but yet again were unable to take part. Senior A underwater hockey team had a dominant year too, winning the CSW championships and also the Central Regional National Qualifying Tournament. Arguably, too, they would have gone into nationals as favourites, but this was not to be. And the winner of the Sports Team of the Year is First 11 football. Please come up as I read your name. Nick Allen, Levi Appleton, Spencer Cameron, Hiroshi Craigie, Oscar Crow, Cooper Duggan, Xander Edwards, Tom England, Max Faulkner, Dan Fuller, Ashton Hodson, Jack Julian, Max Duran, Nick Martin, Mike Neal, Roy Tapunga, Captain Aidan Rodriguez, Jordan Cresswell, Miss Jenna Vreeberg, the manager, Mr. Brad Dry, coach, and also head coach, Mr. Stu Widdowson. Congratulations to the First 11 football team.
On to the Staff Contribution to Sport Award. Wellington College will miss this staff member dearly as he departs back to his old stomping ground and another sporting powerhouse, Hamilton Boys High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Staff Contribution to Sport Awards is First 15 coach and Senior A touch coach, Mr. Johnny Taruki Chambers.
Thank you, ladies and mostly gentlemen. That really brings everything to a close. Just before we close, I'd like to wish my best to those Year 13s who are leaving Wellington College. It's been an absolute privilege to be part of your life here, and I hope you all continue to play sport where you're going. Those guys who are staying on and playing sport over the next few years, don't be strangers. We need you back helping, administering, playing, managing, doing whatever you can, encouraging everybody to be the best they possibly can under the Dub C colours. We look forward to next year being the time when we can hold this event properly, but I do appreciate that, hope you appreciate that we've made every effort we can to make this a bit special today. So thanks very much for what you're doing. Thanks ever so much, fellas. Cheers.